Hey guys, welcome to the Kanji Low Podcast. And every week I will share a tidbit about AI, technology, or some business insight that you can take away for your day. And the beautiful thing about life is that it always shows you certain things that will help you improve as a human being. And we can always reach the greatest version of ourselves as long as we identify the patterns and you could say the energy as well of what's outside. So it's been very interesting, right? You can see throughout your day that there are certain patterns that you may fall into. And I know for a fact that if you are wanting to grow in any sense, the one thing that will allow you to grow is not just the successful times, but also the times where you feel like there's a lot of pain or there's anger or something's come up and it's caused you a lot of frustration because those moments are where it allows you to grow into a version of you where not just that your ego is humbled, but you can see things from a soul level or a level where it just goes behind your own character. So obviously in this episode, I kind of want to just touch on the notion of visibility. So I've built a very big audience and I could say still growing. I'm still at the infancy stage of it all. And the thing about it is that I'm good if, let's say, one day it's all good, touch wood, this doesn't happen, but if it's all gone. And the reason why is because no matter what happens, if you've lost something recently, if something's caused you a lot of frustration because you felt like you lost that, maybe it's a business deal, maybe it's something not working with your AI tool stack, maybe even something personal as well. Maybe, I don't know, someone that you really cherish and love, moved on. A lot of the time we look at this as, as painful, and you have every right to feel painful because it is painful, right? It's not a moment that you feel it's good for you. You feel like it's bad, everything's falling apart and you may feel like the world's ending. But in those moments, you have to realize that the energy has always been there, right? Whether if you've lost a deal with money, whether you've got a new client and, you just lost that client, the energy is still there. If you built something previously, if you've had money before, if you've had people or relationships before, that energy is still there. And the people that you've always wanted to hang out with and you always aspired to be, they will always be there. The only thing is that we just have to remove the layers that is blocking our own filters to see what's in front of us and to move into what feels right. And what I mean by feels right, it doesn't mean to differentiate between what's wrong and what's right. It's more so what feels aligned, right? And it's all about alignment. So when it comes to visibility, I think the biggest problem that people face, or not even problem, but biggest challenge, you could say, and challenge can either be good or bad. It really depends on your perspective. That the challenge is that there is a need for something, right? Whether it's a need for validation of your audience, whether it's a need to prove that you're a successful person, whether it's a need for something, anything external. And that need, what I found, has caused stagnancy, right? So I think there was a time, probably in 2020, 2021, where I just recently started a TikTok account. And that TikTok account, obviously at that time when TikTok came out, I think it's 2016 when TikTok came out, but 2020 is when, everyone was jumping on it because COVID, right? COVID happened. People weren't doing much. Obviously, people bored out of their mind. They can't go to the gym anymore. And that allowed us to create more, right? To create more on social media. I know for myself personally, I was doing a lot of dance videos and promoting business and trying to tie business with dance videos. And sometimes these videos were quite cringe, right? So when you look at what I was doing, I realized I needed validation. Like I needed someone to look at my dance video to look at the fact that I can dance, right? Or to look at it to see that I'm actually living and quite happy, right? During that time, it wasn't a very happy time, right? People going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of challenges. And, you could say it was a total reset, right? So when you look back at that time, you start to see that it's all about a need. right? The reason why we haven't blown up in certain aspects of our life because we need that exact thing, right? If you have a look at it, and maybe a question to ask yourself is, what do I need, right? Do I need this? When you have a look at any aspect, whether it's business, whether it's technology, whether it's money, relationships, love, family, friendship, companionship, relationships, whether it's health as well, do you have a desperation or a need for it? Because if you do, that's where that's the block. And it's not just that, it's like there's competing beliefs, right? So you have a competing belief at the moment that you want this certain thing, but deep down you haven't really addressed the subconscious level of you blocking it. It could be, you want to be famous, but deep down you don't want to show yourself, right? Or you want to earn a lot of money, but deep down you're scared because if you earn a lot of money, you might be scrutinized, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of competing beliefs which block our visibility and our moment, you could say, to be viral. And the other thing as well to look at is that we might be even blocking our own blessings by not realizing the certain blocks. Because if you really look at it, everything's been given to us, right? If you look at opportunities, it's been given to you because you take certain actions and basically when you prepare the right moment, the opportunity comes, right? It's the same thing when you go out and into the dating scene, for example, right? You have to go out, right, for you to meet that person and to see if you align. The same thing with getting a job, same thing with business, same thing with family as well, right? Like obviously the family and having those conversations is really important because when you do have those conversations with family, right, you might find that you didn't learn something about your mom or you didn't learn something about your dad previously, and that's why certain patterns or certain things happen in your life because your parents have given that to you, right? So you start to connect all the pieces and the dots. So that's what I would say. Like, identify a need. Like, where do you need something in life, and do you actually need it? And if you can get to a place where you don't actually need the thing that's external to you, and you can find that it's within you already, and you know that you're whole and complete already, the virality will come, right? The visibility will come, the video will come, the podcast will come, like whatever format will come, it will come in that way because you have that ability to find that out for yourself. Another example is I used to not be good at speaking, right? And to be honest, I had, you can see like my old pictures and even now, right? Like it's completely two different people, right? One, very shy, quite reserved. I do like to have moments where I like to observe and listen. But then if you look at when I was a kid, right, like very happy. And then there was some point where, I didn't like speaking on stage or I think everyone has this fear, right? This fear of speaking. I think the fear that is, I think the biggest fear in the world is getting on stage and speaking in front of a crowd. And for me now it's easy, right? Because I've done all the reps, because I've put myself out there, because I'm willing to see those blocks. I'm willing to face myself. I'm willing to reveal, right? And that's what happens is that when you do reveal yourself, you can start seeing more of what's meant for you. And obviously with many people, we've tried many different things, right? Like for me personally, I've tried so many different things in regards to business, in regards to finding out what my skill sets are. And, you start learning that certain skill sets are meant for you. Like people learn from a very young age, they're good at maybe acting, maybe singing, maybe doing business, maybe making money, maybe technology, right? Some people find that later in life, or some people find that, in the adolescence. And for you, it's more so look at the aspects of your life that makes you you. What makes it skill sets you have that you find are very easy for you? What is it that you've made money with? What is it that gives you purpose? And you might not know what that purpose is because you've been pushing so hard, right? You've been pushing so much to try to get something out there, but you haven't really realized where are you being drawn to, right? Where you're being guided to. And that's the beauty of it all. So in regards to visibility, like I would say like find where you're still reaching out for validation because that is the key to you going viral today, right? You posting that post that you've been waiting on and maybe sitting on for like the last 2 days. It could be the business that you want to start. It could be the fact that you want to speak to a certain client that you currently have in your business and you want to scale the partnership that you kind of just been putting off. There's a lot of things, right? So I would say that's the main thing. And then the second thing is just to be willing to reveal, right? Reveal whatever it is that you get to do in this experience. And this experience is fun, right? But there may be times where you might feel darkness and there's pain and there's a lot of negativity, but that's also part of the process because in those times is where light is shone, right? When it's really bright, you can't see that there's any light, right? Obviously, it's all around you, you're in it, it's there. But when it's dark, that's when the light really matters. So there's those two things in regards to anything that you're really looking at as well in regards to technology. One thing I like to really observe is what people are doing in regards to getting themselves out there. So if you've just recently seen the OpenClaw, ClaudeBot, MoltBot fiasco, exact same thing. So they've changed the names 3 times, right? The founder, right, Peter Steinberg, he's an unknown guy that just came out of nowhere and he launched this AI agent, right? And this AI agent now everyone's talking about it because it is one step closer to AGI, right? It's one step closer to a technology that can do things for itself because right now with AI, like you have to piece things together for it to work. But with this, it does it, right? Because with the text, with the prompt. And that's the thing. It's like he was not expecting it, right? But again, when he put it out there and changed names 3 times, he probably didn't have any validation. You look at the times when you don't need someone else to validate your actions. You see those times are the most valuable times because they allow you to shine in your true essence and how you want to shine in the world. So that's the episode for today. I just wanted to drop a little bit of a nugget there. And just remember, like, if you've done something already and you've achieved something already, just know that you can achieve it again. The energy isn't lost. And the fact that you've done it before, you can do it again. It's just doing it in a way where it feels more aligned to you, right? And when you know that it feels more aligned, things start happening differently. Like it just works out because you're you're no longer pushing. You're finally aligned and things are just magnetized to you. And that's the beauty of it all. So I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening and we'll catch you then. If you haven't already, give us a follow, give us a shout out, and be sure to support this podcast. I look forward to doing more of these. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.